never, ever go to business with family and friends. Never do it. Whenever money is involved with family and friends, you risk that relationship being totally, completely harmed. Let's go back at the very beginning, because let's just try and break this down. Because this is a case about being realistic about things and not trying to live in a bubble or live in a fantasy. This is about who is the star, what is the reason why something is so famous. Who is the star? Why is something famous? What is the biggest draw? So before we get there, I'm just going to get back to so that we can, because I can build a picture for you guys. I first heard about Joe Budden mostly. Most guys would say, pump it up. That was the main thing, pump it up. That wasn't my favorite song. To this day, right now in 2021, Tidal is the music thing I have, and I always have a playlist, and my playlist is filled of all my favorite songs from rap, heavy metal, rock, grunge music, alternative, 90s pop, orchestral themes, and so forth. So to get onto my playlist that is mixed with all genres of so forth, it means that I must really like your song. And Joe Budden's song Fire, I said, no, I've always liked this song, and apart from just being like a very catchy song and so forth that I like to listen to, I was like, no, this guy's, he's got a unique flow. He has a unique way of rapping. His rhyme schemes and rhyme pattern and so forth and style of rapping is very unique, and it stands out. And I always thought, wait, whatever happened to this guy? Because I was like, no, this is a very unique kind of rapper. That's really is set apart from a lot of guys that were around during the 03, 04 era. But obviously, when I found out that his whole deal with the Def Jam, they didn't really support him and so forth. It is what it is. So he was always, because rap is unlike, let's say, music, pop, or everything, because who you are as a person is reflected in rap. So if you're fake, you may be fake, but rap is about, you're putting your personality there because it's poetry, it's a spoken word, and it's about, this is who I am as a guy here in rap. So now fast forward now. My entry into the Joe Budden podcast wasn't the podcast itself. It wasn't. And here's the funny thing. When I first saw Joe Budden, i.e. like in interviews or so forth, I was like, okay, this looks like kind of an arrogant guy that just seems a bit... I was like, no, I didn't really like him. So my entry wasn't the podcast. Everyday Struggle. For me, Everyday Struggle is the greatest and the best rap talk show of all time. And that thing had the potential to be truly amazing, because what he had were... Now, Deska was there, but the key thing was the mix of academics and Joe. Because academics represented the new school and Joe Budden represented the old school. So it was the old versus the young, and how these guys both clashed and combined. Because academics, he has his personality, and Joe has his personality, and it was a volcanic, potent, very interesting mix that made the show work so well. So, but the key to the show was their chemistry. But really, Joe Budden was the guy that was like, wait, who is this guy? Because whether you loved him or hate him, there was a certain magnetism about him. So it was through there that I was like, okay, what else does this guy do? Oh, he has a podcast. Let me go and look. So the entry was Everyday Struggle. So we now get to the podcast now. You see, this is where guys just have to be realistic here. You have to be realistic. And also, I'll get to the whole family and friends, but you have to be realistic here. Why do we watch the podcast? What is the main draw? And you have to be honest with yourself. See, when you're not honest, then we'll be wishy-washy. If you're honest, we can get to the finish line a lot quicker. Why do we watch it? We don't watch it because of Joe, Rory, and Ma and Parks. No, we don't. We watch it mainly because of Joe. But Rory and Mal are great additions. They help to augment the show. So they are great appendages. They are great additions. There's a reason why it says the Joe Budden podcast in big letters and Rory and Mal in small letters. You see, people want to be like, oh, it's a family and they are friends and they're all together and I can buy into their friendship and so forth. But the reality is, Joe Budden is the star of the show. So it's his thing, and you guys are your employees, your additions. And I'll expand on the employee part afterwards. You see, what Rory and Mal had to realize is that Spotify explanation that Joe gave. That should have been like, okay, it is what it is. Because Joe said, oh, no, I want all three of us on the billboard. Or rather, I think it was him and Ian. I want all three of us on the billboard. I remember when that whole rollout came out. So, oh, these guys have moved to the next level. And Spotify said, no, we want you. No, but it's us. No. We are marketing. This is our expertise. A billboard with you three will not hit as hard as a billboard with you. You're the star. You're the draw. People are coming to see you. They're coming to see the guy with the hit single, the guy who was on Love and Hip Hop, the guy with the amazing show, Everyday Struggle, the guy who is the viral meme king that people have his face and everything. It's you. Because people seem to forget. People say, oh, no, it's three. They help build it and everything. They're the two biggest, I believe they're the two most viewed videos on the Joe Budden podcast. The first one is Pusha T's response to Drake. What's the thumbnail? It's Joe. Rory and Mal, they add to it, but who's the guy who's been in beefs? Who is the rapper? Who knows what it means to be in a beef? So who can really talk to and get into the psyche of what Pusha is saying, what Drake is saying? Who knows Drake? Who knew Drake before he blew up? So Joe was the one in that instance who really gave us the key insights. Everyone gave the insight, but the key insight came from, that's the rapper. That's the guy who's been in beefs. So that is the insight that we need. And it's his face on the thumbnail. The second one, Eminem. Again, who is the rapper? What is this about? This is about his beef between himself and Eminem. And Joe, pretty much for an hour and a half, talked. It was just Joe talking for about an hour and a half. And now whole thing you see on Twitter like, and I'll be waiting. That's Joe. So we can't ignore the fact that he is the main draw. And this is where I think Rory and Mal, they played their cards wrong here. I go to the whole employees point. You talk twice a week. To even get paid one kobo for talking twice a week is amazing in itself. The fact that you get paid talking twice a week is crazy. You just talk and just have conversations with your friends twice a week. Most of the times, a guy's like on his phone, viewing his phone, and he gets paid for that. There are people who've lost their jobs in this pandemic. There are people who are scrambling together, trying to find rent money and so forth in a pandemic. And even during a pandemic, you're still getting paid to talk. And from what we're hearing, you're getting paid well. And you're getting paid well because I know the crazy rich that this is like one of the most popular podcasts on the planet. So Rory Mal had to realize, and yeah, this is it, and I'll get to the whole family and friends thing. Rory and Mal, you can't have a podcast by yourself. It can't work. It can't work. You see, Joe now, with all isolation, Joe now knows that, all I need are 2 co-hosts and I'm good. People will complain and blame, but with the whole ice and age thing, it just showed that no, I'm the main draw. But just in terms of the show, you need to bounce off other people. So all I need are just 2 co-hosts. As long as I have 2 co-hosts, I'm good. That's it. I'm good. So, That's where we're at right now, man. So my thing is, a Rory and Mal pod, it can't work. Now, they should go ahead, do it, and so start a show by themselves. But I remember an episode where I think Joe wasn't there, and Rory and Mal pretty much took it upon themselves. And I was like, it was cool and so forth, but I was like, yeah, like you can't carry a show by yourselves. You can't. And another reason, and people online to themselves, the main reasons why you watch is because of the crazy things that Joe says, the viral moments that he has, and because he is the magnetic personality, he's the loud personality, he is the charismatic one, he is the magnetic one. So as long as you just marry that volcanic personality with something else that can help augment it, you have a show. So this goes back to the whole family and friends thing. Never, ever go to business with family and friends. Never do it. Whenever money is involved with family and friends, you risk that relationship being totally, completely harmed. This is just a fact. Hence why, with what I do in my channel and so forth, in my football channel, I do it myself, solo. I could never work with my friends, could never work with family. Because I would like to believe that if I work with friends and family, everything will be fine. I would like to believe, but I just don't know. I just don't know if money arises. My family and my friend will be like, no, I want to see your accounts. No, I want to see what you're doing. Now, wait, just a quick diversion there. The whole accounts thing. This is, and Joe, he made a great point on his on the video he released on Patreon. State of the culture. And this was just an amazing point. He built that from the ground up. That was built from the ground up. He was there at the inception. Rory and Mo were not there at the inception of this. He was there at the inception of State of the culture. He helped to build it, mold it. He is the face of it, and he is the driving force of what made that show what it was. But he didn't even think of asking Puff that, oh, can I see the accounts so I can see whether I should be getting more? No. It's just, okay, what am I getting paid? Am I getting paid? Okay, cool. But he doesn't know, no, I'm not going to. And even if I know, Puff will say, no. It's the same thing here. Joe Budden is the driving force. It is his name. It is his podcast. He is the main draw. So there is no reason why you should view his accounts. You should be happy that in a pandemic, you are getting paid pretty damn well to talk twice a week. That's just me being real. So yeah, so with the whole family and friends thing is, I'd like to believe that if I worked with family and friends, it'd be fine. But I just don't know. And I do not want a situation where I work with family and friends, money gets brought up, and an ugly conversation has to be had. Because I've seen it happen so many times that when money has been brought into a relationship or something, things go left. Because you see, when we deal with our friends and family, money normally is not an issue. And I can and I can say this at first hand. I have seen this of people. I know someone who, after one of their parents died, he left a will. And that family were fighting over who got what in that will because it wasn't clear. So that family were biting at each other, getting at, no, I deserve that. Due to money. Because you see, when we're dealing with our friends and family most of the time, money doesn't come up. Hey, let's go hang out, let's go talk about this and stuff like that and everything. And then afterwards, the whole money thing is dealt with our boss, our co-workers, our regional manager, and so forth. But when we're friends, we're mates. Okay, I'll lend you a bit here, and everything. But when money comes into it, that's how I provide for my family. That's how I provide my means of living. That's what I want to leave for my future generations and so forth. So that's a whole different thing now. Which is why you can't mix friends and money. Because now once money now comes into it, the whole friend thing goes aside and is like, wait, what am I getting paid? No, I deserve to get paid this. No. Forget about us being friends. Okay. So for Joe, he's like, I'm sorry. My first port of call is Trey good? And is my I forgot his name, and is my other son good? So are my kids good? So yeah, so is Trey good? Is Lex good? And I have to make sure that they're really good. Is my mom good? Is my dad good? Are my cousins good? So are all those guys taken care of? Then we now can go into my friends and so forth and everything. But the first thing is your immediate family. An extended family, those guys have got to be good. And I'm going to make sure that, no, I'm really providing for these guys. Because as he said, no, this is my life's work. So no, you shouldn't, you have no right to look at the accounts when really you're an employee. As harsh as that may sound, Joe is a star and Joe is the reason why this is big. You contributed, but the main reason why it's this big is because Joe, all the viral moments, all of the popular moments and so forth comes from Joe. Joe takes the lead from all the viral moments and so forth. And everyday struggle played a major part in boosting this show. The viral moments, everyday struggle played a big thing, and that came through Joe. But the main thing, guys, is that, man, I have to stress this. Do not go to business with family and friends. It may work. It's just might work. But if I was advising you and you want to maintain the love you have for your family and the love you have for your friends, do not go into a financial venture or a business venture that involves money, specifically when it's a lot of money. Do not go into it with family and friends. Business is business. Family is family. Friends is friends. And those things should be kept totally separate, man. Like that vid, subscribe, comment below.